In this video, I am going to show you how to use the data store feature inside make.com. This is an iteration of a scenario that I did create, but I noticed that the operations on this particular scenario were really adding up as I was using Google Sheets to store my data and the updated stats. So what I'm going to do is show you the integrated data store. It's basically like a database inside make.com. So it's very easy to use, and I'm going to show you exactly how I saved my operation or my scenario from having 200 odd operations down to 8. So let's jump into it. You can see here, this is a version of a scenario that gets information from Twitter through Apify, updates my stats in Google Sheets, and you can see over here it was 207 operations included in every run of this scenario. And you can see this version, which is a YouTube version, which is pretty much the same, and it does get stats, but this was only taking up 8 operations. So let's jump into it. What I'm going to do is basically copy this scenario over to Twitter and modify it. So let's run through it. The first step is Apify, where I run this JSON and I will grab all of the updated stats from Apify. Then I will send myself a notification through my iOS device so I know that it's running. And then I put that at the start here because if you put it later, it was executing a number of times, which I only wanted it to send to me once. So then I have another Apify operation, which will grab the result data set from the first actor. And then that went through Google Sheets, but I am actually going to take out these 2 operations. So if I unlink these, and I'll just move these out of the way for now, I'll move the array aggregator over to be after the JSON dataset received from Apify. And if I click onto this, I can then pick all of the fields that would be counted. Now this is going to be a little bit different because it will have previous data in here. But what I am going to do is find the right section. What I might actually do is run this so I can get updated data. And I will just unlink this for now. So let's go run anyway. This is going to go through and get the updated data, and then I'll be able to click on the icons and figure out which particular items I need to click on to make this whole scenario work properly. Okay, so if we have a look through, we can see the array aggregator has a whole bunch of different bundles which were retrieved from the Apify module. So what I'm going to do, this should be updated now. I'm going to click array aggregator and go through here to see all the fields that I need. Now this actually is correct from what I previously have. So I am just going to run with that, and then this transform to JSON module is very easy to use. If you already have the array aggregator, you can simply put the array object there. That is going to create the JSON from all the items that we picked in the array aggregator. And then I am going to add a data store option. I'm going to add or replace a record, and I'm going to click add to create a new record. So I will call this Twitter stats, and I'll click add, and then I'm just going to make this very simple. So the first item is called identifier. The second will be the result, and the last will be a timestamp. And that is pretty much it. And I can just leave this at 1 megabyte for the data storage size. Click save. Now that creates a new data store. It's going to automatically create a key for each new entry, which is fine. The identifier, I just want to give this something unique that I will use over and over. So if I ever want to pull out data from the same day with a particular identifier, I can do that and then replace the record. So I will just put in my Twitter handle here. And then the result, I'm going to click JSON string. And the timestamp, I can click over to the date field and just click now. And that will be simple enough for what I need. So then let's connect that ChatGPT option. Okay, so I've got provide a summary of the following tweet stats, highlight the best performing tweets and make recommendations. Very simple input. And this will then grab that JSON string and it's going to output the result as HTML, which I can then send straight through to email to me. And I've used the similar thread idea to an operation that's run previously. So it will grab all the information that I've already sent to it on previous days. Click OK. And then the last option is an email that sends it to me. Very simple and just has the results that came back from ChatGPT. So that's a very simple way that we can replace Google Sheets with the internal data store from make.com. And if I run this execution, you can see everything completed there correctly. And now we have an email sent through in HTML, which has automatically identified the particular tweets that worked well and sends me recommendations based on all of that data. So that's how you use the internal data store within make.com. And if we go back to see how many operations, there we go. We're now from 207 down to 8. Very handy little function there that you can use internally to store data and not have it use a whole lot of operations using Google Sheets.